Hello, everyone.
Hi,
It's Josh again
it's me.
because it was Belle last week.
Exactly. She failed, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's the last you'll see of her.
Unlucky.
JK.
We are actually joking.
I hope everyone has a nice week or has had a nice week.
Yeah.
What have you
I've
been
got
up
a new
to?
microphone,
Yeah, there's a new microphone.
which has been stolen from the person that was on the previous episode.
Yeah,
Basically, what happened is we offed her,
yeah.
stole her stuff.
Solar stuff.
Job done.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's actually Matt's microphone. He
Is it?
he got jealous of mine,
Oh.
so he got his own, and he said, "Well, you can use it for the podcast."
Aw.
So I was like, "Perfect, win-win."
Supportive boyfriend, we love it.
He gets a microphone, and
That's mine.
yeah.
Nice. Okay. So, this is episode, do you know? 10?
So I actually said
This
it
is
was
10th.
episode 9 last week, but it was actually episode 8 last week.
Because we missed one.
Yeah. So,
So
this
this
is
is
episode
9.
9.
Boom.
Yeah.
Almost at the 10th.
Almost at the 10th.
Almost at the 10th anniversary.
Wahoo!
Anyway, today, what are we doing?
So I thought we'd do a general dilemmas kind of vibes, because we've really enjoyed talking through the am I the assholes, the
Yeah.
Reddit advice, just giving our own 2 cents that no one actually ever asked for.
Exactly.
So that's what we're going to carry on doing.
Here's some more completely unsolicited advice.
No one wants it, and yet we're doing it. So you're welcome.
Yeah. They want it.
Do you want to read any of them?
Me
Or
read? I'm being promoted.
do you want to do a
No, because I'm going to start reading it. It's going to go wrong and we have to cut the whole thing. And then you'll use it for a TikTok being like, look at this guy being so stupid.
he's so silly. Yeah.
I don't like it. I can't move. I have to be next to the microphone. It's really weird.
Okay.
This is so different. Anyway.
Okay, I'll do the first one. It's a short one.
Okay. Wait, can I do the short one?
Yeah.
Wait, if I look at it. Wait. It's quite long. What do you mean?
It's
Oh.
pretty short in Reddit terms.
I can't read. Okay, fine. No, I can't read that. You go.
Oh my goodness. Okay, she didn't know I had feelings for her, so she slept with my best friend.
See, that would have just been so weird coming out of my mouth.
Fair. Should I give it a chance? Dun dun dun.
I wasn't listening.
Okay, ready? We've known each other for 2 years and hid our feelings. How does he know that she has feelings? Oh, she loved me and I was too oblivious. I loved her back and she was too oblivious. Eventually, it grew into insecurity and resentment on her side. She was left in tears, started posting love quotes, and then ended up with my best friend and told me about it. She did it out of spite and didn't know I had strong feelings. She just wanted any possible reaction from me. I ghosted her. She was still jealous of other girls and has lingering feelings. Is there any chance for a healthy relationship?
Is she still dating his best friend?
I think she just slept with him and then was like, I thing.
Jealousy building.
Yeah. So it's more of like a scenario than
Okay.
like a
Yeah,
specific dilemma with lots and lots of detail.
Mm.
My first point is your best friend's been there, so you can't.
That's very true.
So it doesn't matter anymore.
That is very true. It's kind of just been ruined almost immediately.
Yeah. Belle and I had this guy at college that we both saw, and we were like, neither of us had any. I think I had one class with him, and he was on our bus, and I'd said he's cute, and she said he's also cute. So then it was like this kind of joke that was, if he noticed one of us, we would. But also it was because both of us thought he was cute, it's kind of a write-off.
Yeah. It's like job done.
Yeah. I was
Like,
like over
hey.
it at that point.
Fine.
Yeah.
Because also you don't really want to be like
I'd way rather lose a
in
guy.
the way.
Yeah. But also I think I'd feel insecure that
Your best friend's looking at it, been like,
But my best friend clearly fancies him and has been with him first. And then also, he clearly fancies both of us.
it's just a weird situation.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. That's just,
It's not my favourite scenario.
no, it's not the best. I think also, if it was me and the girl had done that, like slept with my best friend, it's like, okay.
But also, does your best friend not know you have a massive crush on her?
Yeah, first of all, that's not your best friend.
Yeah.
And also, that's not your future girlfriend because she slept with your best friend.
To get back at you.
At you. So that's vindictive to start with.
She's always going to be doing things that when you upset her.
Yeah. It just don't sound like very nice people. Just move on.
Run away.
From everything involved in
Personally.
that. Just don't.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that
No.
vibe and dynamic. Because then you're like, she's come and bragged to you about it, which is weird.
Let's move on from that. It's just not a good situation.
Okay. Okay. I agreed to live with my girlfriend, 20 female, of 6 months, but now she's pushing for a $4,000 New York City apartment. I'm 21 male, jobless, and overwhelmed. Thoughts, feelings?
Okay. When you're that young, for a start, 6 months, moving in together, wild.
Yeah, I don't think that's... You should.
I think that's mental to start with.
Yeah, because you have no idea if you're secure. Do you want me to go into the details?
Yeah, can do. Is there much details?
Okay, so before I graduated this May, my girlfriend of 6 months, who is an international student from China, and I agreed to live together in New York City for her next school year. I agreed, but said I'd need a full-time software engineering job first, and if I didn't find one right away, I'll part-time being a server or something else to cover rent. She was excited and started apartment hunting right away and imagining our life together. Now it's June, so this is a month later, and she's back in China for the summer and found a corner view apartment for around 4.2k, which she said is a great deal. Her mum would cover her half of the rent and I'd cover mine, but I don't have a job yet and no family support. I've been applying 50 to 100 jobs per day. With that, that's the problem. You're just generically sending out your application, like your CV, so it's not
50 to 100 jobs a day.
Yeah, there's no effort in those applications, so you're never going to hear back.
Also, 50 to 100 is just not real, is it?
It is if you're literally on like Indeed going apply, and like you're literally just attaching your CV and sending it off. There's no cover letter, there's no nothing else.
I guess New York is also massive.
Yeah, it's probably got loads of like jobs like that, but
maybe.
The problem is if you're not putting any effort into the CV, then
it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, you're not making it sound like you specifically are born for that job. I told her so he's got some interviews in progress. I told her I'd part-time if needed, but realistically that's hard to balance while improving my skills for job hunting. When I hesitated, she said the apartment she just found would be gone soon and wanted to immediately sign the lease. I told her I want to live with her, but I'm sure what if I get a job outside of New York City? Oh, is he saying like I'm not sure? Who knows? The tech market is bad for entry level right now, and I'd take up any job offer. Signing now would mean paying rent without even living there. She got upset and sad and said I was only thinking of myself and not about where she'd live if we don't get this place. But she does have friends who are willing to live with her. She said, "You say you've considered me, but your consideration is limited to what you think and that's not really considering me. You've put me in a position where everything revolves around you. I feel I've already compromised. My mum is covering the guarantor fee and I'm helping you job hunt, but you still can't make this decision. You're not thinking about me enough. She then said we either sign now or she'll live with a friend and rethink our relationship. Is it... It hit me hard. Oh, it hit me hard. I realized it feels like this relationship only survives if we're not long distance and living together. She said if I truly cared, I'd keep job searching until I find a role in New York and reject non-New York roles. She said even on call with her family in the background, able to hear the conversation, she's never dating a poor guy again. I told her I'm not poor. My family just don't support paying for my rent if we already have a house here, and I can do whatever I want once I get a job. And then he's caved, saying he'll work part-time to cover rent while job hunting, and she's helping with the applications. I told her this means I can't afford to treat her to the lifestyle she likes and gifts, nice restaurants until I get a tech job, since a part-time job will only be enough to cover the rent. I also proposed an alternative that she lives with a friend and I stay with my family in New York, work part-time with a few hours, and once I get an offer, I'll move in nearby, renting a cheap studio, so we'll be very close. She says fine, but is very disappointed in this relationship. And there's more, but I think we've kind of got the gist. There's like 3 more paragraphs.
I mean, that's so much more than it was to begin with. But off the bat, saying you don't want to be in a relationship with a poor person next time. Was that what she said?
Yeah, she said she'll never be in a relationship with a poor guy again.
See, I mean, you're offending him. You're suggesting there's going to be another relationship.
Yeah, you're literally like, this relationship's over.
Like...
But also, just because out of circumstances, it's not even like he's like, I don't want to live with you. Because if he doesn't want to live with you and that's where you are in the relationship, maybe you guys aren't meant to be. Like, the relationship is at different places. But it's just circumstance.
Yeah, 100%.
So to not be considerate.
She has friends who want to live with her.
Yeah.
He has a place in New York.
He's got family, yeah.
I mean, it might not be Manhattan. I don't know where all this is all based, but...
It says NYC.
Yeah.
So it's probably massive. Manhattan.
No.
Oh, really?
I don't think
New York City is Manhattan, is it not?
Well, Manhattan's the island.
Yeah.
Which is... There's not much living space on Manhattan.
Yeah.
Until you go further down. So this is probably like outskirts. I don't want to say much because I don't know America that well.
Me neither.
But in my head, this is like... I mean, I can't say Jersey because that's not New York. Like Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But like closer.
Yeah.
I don't know where this is. I don't know specifically where it is, but $4,000 a month is a lot to start with anyway.
Yeah.
And if you're 21,
no job.
I mean, if the salaries are covering that, I'm going to New York. Do you know what I mean? But also, I think she's called him poor inadvertently, but almost directly. And yet her mum's covering her rent.
Yeah.
So if you take both of them as singular people,
they're both...
She's poorer than him.
Yeah.
Because he's working part-time and he's about to get a job, clearly.
Yeah.
Also, if you're 6 months in and you want to live together, but you can't stand the idea of being slightly further away from each other, you shouldn't be living together at all.
Yeah.
The relationship isn't that strong and living together is probably just going to make it worse.
I know. And he feels really uneasy because not just because of the pressure, but because when things go wrong, she always makes it his fault.
Yeah. What was that thing she was saying earlier? How...
he's not considering her.
Yes. Whoa.
It sounds like she's not considering, like she's not
she is being
deeping the conversation. She's not deeping the situation he's in. He has no means to fund it.
Exactly.
So
the fact that he's trying to fund it at all, and he's got the part-time job,
or he's applying or something.
I mean, either way, the intention's there, right?
Yeah, so he's proposed an alternative where he works a part-time with fewer hours.
Yeah.
And then once he gets an offer, he'll move in a nearby cheap studio.
I mean, all of his intentions are there. Not that I think it should be. I mean,
I'd
she
like,
sounds horrible. Can't
you've
lie.
been together 6 months. You don't like, right? If I was with Matt and like we're currently living together, and he turned around, he went, "I'm gonna go take a job outside of the cities that we're living, and you can either join or not." But then I'm tied down by school or work or whatever, and I'm like, "Oh, hang on." I think that's a whole underlying, like, I'd be really upset. I'd be like, "You haven't considered me." But it's not even like he's being like, "I would take the job just because it's better for the career," but then he's talking to her about it. He is discussing it. It's not like he's doing it like...
Also, they're talking as if it's going to be long distance. And I don't think living
in the same
is...
city is not long distance.
No. I mean, we don't have... I don't have reference for how far they're travelling.
I would say anything from like...
I think...
an hour.
I think 2 hours apart, that's not long distance.
No, it's not.
3 hours?
That kind of then becomes long distance. If you'd struggle to do the trip there and back in a day, I think it's long distance.
I think if it gets to the point where seeing each other for an evening or a dinner, if you spend more time driving than you would there, that's long distance.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, you want to meet at, I don't know, like 5:30, get drinks, go for dinner at 6:30, 7:15.
Yeah.
Which is pretty early anyway.
Yeah.
If you're working. Let's just go 6 till 10. That's a reasonable 4 hours.
Yeah.
If you're driving 2 hours either side of that, let's say it's a Friday and you finish work early, nice.
Yeah.
Then that's 4 hours of driving, 4 hours of seeing each other.
And then...
I don't think that's an unreasonable distance.
Yeah, and it's not like a big deal to do a weekend.
Exactly.
Like, you're not traveling loads.
Yeah.
But like when if they're like living in Manchester and you're down in London, that's
long distance.
3-4 hours. Actually, I think
More than that.
no, it's not. On the train, I think.
Oh,
it's
train, train's different.
But like driving,
I think train's always different. Train, you don't have to concentrate. You just sit there, fall asleep. I mean, obviously it is a long time. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah. But if you were driving because like you were bringing like your PC or like loads of stuff, and then
bringing your PC is such a niche thing to say, but I love it. Yeah.
But some people do.
It's cute. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Like Callum always brings his PC wherever he's going. People do it.
Anyway, back to that guy. I think he just needs to just take another reevaluation of that relationship.
Yeah, I think he needs to evaluate the relationship.
Also, if she's an international student, is she going to be living in New York post-grad?
Yeah, and then
because if she's not, no offense, mate, but if she's going back home after she's finished her studies, what are you doing?
Yeah, because then it's a...
that's just a whole nother thing.
Or is she then going to be pushing that they get married? So that she gets a spousal visa?
But I think his specific situation, he's being very considerate from my perspective.
Yeah, it sounds like he's compromising loads.
He's compromising. He's trying to get a job just so that he can fund living with her.
Yeah.
And she's not being very grateful. Yeah, weird.
Oh, there's an edit. So the house that they wanted got signed by someone else, and now she's blaming me for being too slow on making a choice that we already decided to go forward with. And now she can't live in her ideal apartment, but I told her I'll help her search, and she said good luck finding one that is as good as this one and just as cheap.
That's cheap. Oh, her mum's forking out $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
For her rent.
God, if I got told that I had to spend just on me £2,000 out of my salary a month, I'd be like, cool, I've got like a penny a week to do my food shop. I'd be living off of Water.
I want to see what a $4,000 rent apartment looks like.
Does it look crazy?
I want to know. Because in like here, I think even in London, like you can get a decent 2-bed for under $4,000.
Yeah, I think it's... Someone put, one of the relevant comments is, she's not having to foot any of the bill, so she has none of the stress. To say that she would rethink the relationship is extremely manipulative. Frankly, I don't think you would even be able to sign the lease without having a job anyway. Is she planning to work? Does she have a job herself already? Honestly, it sounds like she's coming from a spoiled background and is less interested in you and more interested in outside perception.
Some of these places look amazing, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're only like $3,000.
How is she upset about her ideal apartment then?
I have no idea. Well, ideal apartment, I guess. I think it's really easy to get hooked up in like ideals.
I just also think 6 months, you barely know each other at that point. Especially if she's back in China at the moment. Like, you're not spending any time together. It just, you need, because how long she been back? Like a month? So then that's actually, you were only together 5 months before she went.
I want to live here. This looks sick.
Is this in New York?
I'm like, yeah. What?
Are you moving to New York now?
Yeah, obviously, because I've got $5,000 a month to spend on an apartment.
I see.
Look at this. Look, there's like an indoor driving range. There's like full gyms.
That looks lovely.
Oh my...
The amenities there are wonderful.
What? That's crazy. I love apartment shopping. Like
same.
Just
I
looking at houses.
I go and wherever we are, I go and look at like what Matt and I could.
If there's like an estate agent on the road, I'll just have a little. I'll do the dad thing where I stand with my hands behind my back. I'd buy the one top left. Yeah, that looks good.
I did it the other day that I walked past a house and I thought that's a really nice house, and it had a for sale sign. I went right on Rightmove and I was like, where is it? And I looked at it. I couldn't afford it.
Funny that.
I was like, oh, maybe Matt and I could move there. No, we couldn't. But oh well.
Yeah, okay, so that's the conclusion of that one. She's just like...
She has no perception.
There's just something going on there.
Yeah, she's got no perspective of the real world.
Also, if your mum's covering half of it, maybe you could cover the other half and treat that as the full rent. Yeah, does she not get
student loans?
I think if her mum's covering all of it, she probably wouldn't. I don't know what the deal is there anyway. But, but more importantly, why don't you treat the rent as 2K?
And then you do 50-50 of that.
Not even 50-50. If she just contributes like a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like
and then it's less for you.
Less for him.
Yeah. Because also, proportionate wise, if she's saying she's never dating a broke guy again, she's clearly aware of his financial situation, which is he doesn't currently have a job. But yeah, he wouldn't even pass the credit checks to get the place if he didn't have a job.
Well, I think that's what she was saying about her mum. The fact that she's covering the guarantor fee and like all of that side of it. But yeah, weird situation.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's go to another one.
So this one's slightly different. It's about behavior again, but this is the guy acting up. So I, 22 female, and my partner, 26 male, so 4-year age gap.
Wait, how old?
4-year age gap. 26. 26 male. Is whenever... So, okay, my partner. So whenever I try to criticize his behavior, he shuts down the conversation and says, accept it. It's part of my nature. So is this unhealthy? I, 22 female, and my boyfriend, 26 male, are in a relationship for about 1.5 years, and I really love him a lot. But the thing is, sometimes I don't really feel emotionally connected with him, because to feel emotionally connected, I want him to share with me about his day or what is going on in his life, but he doesn't like to share that with me, and I feel distant. He thinks that I want him to update me about each and every thing that happens in his day, but it's not like that. I just think that if two people want to be with each other and grow together, then they will have to share everything with each other, including all those small stuff. So whenever I ask him about something or ask him to share, or whenever I complain to him for not sharing anything with me, he shuts down, saying it's just part of my nature. You have to accept it. I find this really frustrating and honestly hurtful. I tried to explain him how his words affect me, but he doesn't seem to open to listening or changing. Instead, he acts like I'm the one being unreasonable for not accepting that it's part of his personality. And then she's put TLDR, he doesn't feel like it's important to share anything with me.
I think there's two things to break down here. The fact that he says, accept it as part of my personality. And then the actual issue.
Which is the lack of communication.
Yeah, I mean, the one that she's talking about is the one where he doesn't want to talk about his day.
Yeah, because...
I think... Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Okay. I think the first thing that I said, saying, accept this as part of my personality, is becoming a lot more, like, apparent recently.
What people don't feel like they have to...
With lots of people. Feel like you don't have to change.
Yeah.
You have to find someone who accepts it. It's like it's a done deal or it's not.
Yeah.
I think there are some things that applies to.
Yeah.
Which is stuff like hobbies and things like jobs.
Yeah.
But I think everything is malleable if you care enough.
Especially like a relationship, no two relationship is the same. So
exactly.
You could go from one relationship where you didn't really talk about what you did today, but then you're dating someone and you love them loads, but they want to hear about the small things.
Yeah.
So the compromise is you start sharing some of it. You don't have to share everything, but
I think also though it's like a skill or like a reflex. I don't know how to describe it, but it's something that the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it.
Yeah.
Like he could just start with, if it is as simple as he doesn't know how to do it or he doesn't know what to say, he could just start with like a genuine, simple breakdown of what happened in the day. You don't have to say how you feel about it.
No.
You don't have to include every detail. You could say, oh yeah, I got to work at this time, had some lunch at this time, and now I'm home and seeing you, for a start, right? Yeah. Obviously, that's not what she wants. But and there's going to be more down the line. But once you get into a rhythm of it, it'll be better. Yeah,
because he could literally be like, oh, got to work, had some meetings. I had an egg and mayo sandwich for lunch and didn't have any meetings in the afternoon, came home.
Boom.
Like, it's not, it's
that's
not.
The start.
It's not rocket.
That's the beginning.
It's not like groundbreaking stuff, but to be honest, like I don't know how much she's demanding either, because she may be asking for like literally every detail.
Yeah.
And then that's like, okay, I don't even remember every detail. Like, and also my day is not exciting enough for me to tell you every single detail. Yeah. Some days are more exciting than the others. So you may have more detail on days where you've like done something different. But if it's just a normal day.
But also, like, I think once you break down into it, I think talking about how you feel about certain things is better than describing certain things.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know, let's say he had an email that he had to write and then it got checked over by his boss or something and it was wrong. It was like, all right, I've got to do that again. But you can talk about the fact that, okay, remember that email that I did yesterday?
Yeah.
I'm still doing it today.
That's frustrating.
It's that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I think when you talk about things like that, the connections that come from it are the best bit.
Yeah.
So the bit where she remembers the fact that 3 days ago or like 3 weeks ago, you sent an email.
And your boss is wanting you to rewrite
it. Or like this week, you can go, oh yeah, if you remember that email that I wrote 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It's come back, we completed the order, or like, we got the deal, that sort of thing. And then she can enjoy it with you because she's been part of the process from the beginning. She knows what you've been through and now you've got a result at the end and it's like, oh, cool.
And so then you feel closer to that side of that person because otherwise they leave and you don't know anything that goes on in their day and then they just come back.
I think like as with all things, there's like limits to it as well.
But-
like sometimes
yeah.
you'll have like the worst day and you don't want to talk about anything.
I was going to say, some people like to completely switch off
Exactly.
and not talk about their day.
Exactly.
So then it's, does he have to change? Or does she have
Well, yeah,
to?
exactly. I think this is the thing. Like, he doesn't have to change, right?
Yeah, neither
But
of them.
I think it just depends on how much you love this person, really, doesn't it? At the end of the day.
Yeah, and it depends on like, oh, you've got to weigh up the pros and cons. If this is literally like the one thing that is wrong in the relationship, that he doesn't share his day-to-day work life, but other than that, you have a great emotional connection when you're together. He shares his feelings on the relationship, so the talking within the relationship is very well communicated.
Yeah.
And you have loads of fun, and he's like your other half in every other aspect, then does it matter that much?
There's, because it's a compromise, right? That they're suggesting both sides have got to move.
Yeah.
Like, find the balance, man.
Yeah. And or can she start like accept that she's got to prompt the questions out a little bit more?
Yeah.
In not a like,
yeah.
you're not sharing information. Just be like, oh, what did you have for lunch?
Yeah.
Because if he goes, oh, I'm not going to tell you, then that's just weird.
Yeah.
So
But I think finding the limit is also important, right? Because if every day he gets home from work, doesn't want to talk about anything,
Yeah.
and you go, what'd you have for lunch? Like every day,
what did you do? What did you have for lunch?
then it's obviously going to start to piss him off,
Yeah.
especially if it's something he doesn't want to talk about. And
Yeah.
he's explicitly told you he doesn't want to talk about it. Then obviously you've got to find the boundary. It's a difficult one,
Yeah.
I think. But I think the most important thing is, how long have they been in a relationship for?
I think
So
it was a year and a half. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you're a year and a half in, maybe it's one of those things where, like you said, how important is it to you?
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's working in every other aspect, does it have to be perfect in everything? Because no relationship will be.
No.
Because no person is perfect. But they will be perfect for you
Yeah, exactly.
in the majority.
Yeah.
And
I think if it's something that she really does want, like if she can't imagine the rest of her life going through without
those little
that
details.
person telling them everything, then maybe it's not going to work.
Yeah, because you can't force someone to change.
No.
Because if you force someone to change, they'll just resent you.
Exactly.
So,
Gotta be
and it'll
willing.
break down. Anyways.
That's quite a deep one. That was quite.
I know,
in the
right?
end, that was like,
Actually, fundamentals of the relationship.
but a tiny thing.
Yeah.
It's not actually a tiny.
Because
thing.
also, if, like I said, does this also reflect in the relationship that he's not communicating the little feelings he has in the relationship? Because then you've got a massive issue that either it's going to all boil up and then there's going to be a big argument, or it's going to be when you really need to be communicating, then it's never going to work.
Yeah.
I saw this really good TikTok the other day that was like, stop choosing your partner on whether they have like chiseled abs or they've got like the figure you want or the face you want, and start looking at this partner as they've got to guide you through the death of both your parents. Are they reliable? And it really upset me.
I was going for a cheerful way. I was like, they're going to teach your children what to do. No. Death.
They are going to be the one that sees you in your
Sorry if this is
completely lowest
I'm
point.
sitting up a bit. I felt quite sure I was slouching a lot.
But yeah, they're going to see you in your lowest point, and they're going to have to handle the doctor's appointments.
There's going to be some point in time where this person is the backbone of your life.
Yeah.
Right.
And you are needing to lean on them. And if they are crumbling at the small things, they will never, ever, ever be able to support you in the big things.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think sometimes...
Some people do step up when it really matters.
Exactly. I think some people can realise like big genuine things. I think if something really, really does matter, like if it is the death of the parent,
or like something
If,
huge.
I mean, for a start, if you're not recognizing that as a big thing, then what is going on there? But also, like, you're going to step up, right? It's one of those things
You
where...
hope people would, but they may not. Like, that's the other thing. You don't...
Yeah.
You never know someone truly until, like, there's loads of pressure anyways. So...
Yeah.
And what if they
Well,
then
exactly.
go...
So that's what I'm trying to say, right? So even if the little things aren't necessarily there, if a big thing does happen and that person does, you know, pull through or turn up in a big way, that's their true character, right?
Yeah, and then...
That's the key bit.
And then, obviously, you know that they do have your best intentions at heart, and they just... Maybe it's a love language difference.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I've also seen things where, like, your partner hasn't said, like, I love you loads to them, but then they taught them the, like, 3 taps means I love you.
That's cute.
And then they did 3 taps, like, all the time.
Yeah.
They just never verbally
it's not vocal.
liked to say I love you, but
Yeah.
it didn't mean that they didn't love to communicate that they loved them.
I think there are some people who are really, really good at manipulating the small things, right? Making someone feel amazing. But then when the big thing happens, they're just rubbish. They're just not there. They don't actually care. Because for some people, like, relationships can be a bit of a game, right? It
Yeah,
can
and
be
the
a bit
moment it
of
gets
a,
hard, why are you dealing with
this
it?
is cool. You know,
Yeah.
like, I can tell you about my day, I can tell you about this. And it's just sort of using the relationship, right?
Yeah.
Because some people do that. It's not nice.
No.
But some people do. And then something big will happen.
And then you're like,
And they'll be like, I'm stepping out of this.
yeah, that's not what I signed up
Exactly.
for.
Whoa. Oh, I just want the little things, right?
Yeah.
And
I
then
just
if
wanted you to
all
compliment
crumbles
my...
down. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
whoa, what's going on here? So I think it's true, but, like, there's also the reverse side.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? You just got to know the person that you're with.
Yeah, but, like, what if you're, like, 5 years deep and then their true colours come out and you're like, hang on a second, have you been this person the whole time?
Yeah, that's rough.
That is so scary. People are so scary. I don't like trusting people.
No.
Okay.
Anyway.
Moving on
Glad that ended
before
on a
we
really
spiral.
happy note.
I might do... So this is... Actually, I don't know if I want to do that.
Do you know what I've realised?
What?
We don't have a time limit.
No, I know, right?
It's kind of scary. So what we've done for you at home, while Holly's finding something, is we've now started recording directly to the computer instead of my camera. This is a bit of technical jargon. Anyway, it means we don't have a time limit. So we can
now we
record
just
forever.
do
So in
whenever.
previous episodes, you would have seen us panic about how much time we have left and be like, uh-oh, we've only got 2 minutes left. But now, I don't know how long we've been recording for, and it's stressing me out.
We've
Let's
been
just-
recording for, I think, like 40 minutes.
Okay. I feel like that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Should we do one more?
Yeah.
Nice.
So this one is a fairly short one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really short. So it's a job dilemma, but I think there's a relationship kind of involved.
Okay.
So I've been offered a clinical teaching fellow job in Birmingham, and they've given me 24 hours to respond. It's the only confirmed job I have right now, and I don't have a visa for next year yet, so this feels important. But my partner is in Portsmouth, and I've also applied for a junior clinical fellow job there, which would be ideal. Haven't heard back from that yet, though. And so do I take the safe route and accept Birmingham, or risk it and wait for Portsmouth? Would love your thoughts. Really torn right now.
Okay, so this person needs a visa to stay in the country.
Yeah, so they
For a
need a
start.
working visa.
So that's a time limit. And realistically, like, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because either way, if you don't have a visa, your relationship's not surviving.
Yeah, because then you're long
Because
distance.
then you are, like, that's not even long distance. That's just, like,
Distance.
that, you know? Like,
That is far.
yeah. But obviously, like,
I mean, I know it's a bit
Shit.
crap, but
Yeah.
you could
just
accept that one.
the job.
If you got the other one,
say no.
just go
Bye.
buy and go for the Portsmouth one, because you do have like a 30-day Is it a 1 month you're on like probation
Well,
period?
jobs have it differently. So some jobs have different probation
I was
periods.
on a 6-month probation period.
Wow, they really didn't like you.
Or was it 3?
6 months is 6 months.
I think
I've actually got no idea.
I think it was 3 months actually.
Yeah, so I mean that is an option, but it also might not be, depending on when they have to apply for the visa. Because if you apply for a visa with one job, you have to have that job. You can't change it, I don't think.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. Really sorry if I am.
But also, have they spoken to their partner? Because I definitely think talking to your partner and being like, hey, I need this visa. I've got this job. It's in Birmingham. That's like, what, from Portsmouth? That's 3 hours?
Ish.
So it's 3 hours away. So we are looking at long distance. But I'll come to you every other weekend. You can come to me every other weekend. Like, we can sort this out. Especially if your partner's already working.
What are their partner doing?
I think it just said their partner is in Portsmouth.
So working and living probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if your
your
partner may even be
look for another
job?
job?
I was gonna say your partner may even be willing to look for a job in Birmingham.
Yeah.
If you've not spoken to them about the options, they may actually turn around and go,
Also,
you know what, I've been looking
like,
to change, or
Portsmouth, Birmingham.
they're both just as bad as
Exactly.
each other.
Portsmouth is Birmingham on the sea, like. Okay.
Yeah, they're not the best. So you'll be chilling. I think
So this all depends on when they have to apply for the visa, right?
yeah. But also, they've got 24 hours to respond. If
True. It doesn't even matter.
If they don't get the junior clinical fellow,
And they don't if they don't get both, they're screwed. Right?
Yeah. So I think
take job.
Because also this one seems like a higher paying one anyways. This one's a clinical teaching fellow, whereas the other one's a junior clinical fellow. So it sounds like you're doing a step down if you were to get the Portsmouth one.
I don't.
So this is better for your career. Right?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's doctor stuff. I don't know what doctor stuff is.
I have no idea.
But it's just exciting to see.
Sometimes junior can mean higher than whatever the base one is, but who knows? I think take the job you can get. If you have an offer, take it.
Yeah, someone said,
this is because I don't have a job right now. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, a guaranteed visa in this climate is gold. Accept the job. If you subsequently get offered the job in your current location, then you can explore handing in your notice before you start. Which is what I said.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer, to be honest.
Yeah, people are saying it's not worth gambling.
No,
just accept the job. And then if you can like get another job, or your partner can get a job, or maybe for the next year or so you guys are long distance.
I mean,
you'd figure it out
better
if it's
than
meant to
staying
be.
completely still. Right, if you stay still, nothing's going to happen.
And then you've got to leave the country in like a few months.
Just take the job. Just do
yeah.
it. Just do it. It's the best option for you.
I think it's silly. Like me and Belle were talking about last week. It's silly to base your future on other people anyways. Even a partner, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And you guys will make it work, because they'll also understand the situation you are in. Because this isn't like you're just choosing to go to Birmingham because like it potentially is either this or nothing, and then I've got to leave the country. So your partner should be on the same page that this is better for you guys than you being in a completely different country altogether, and may even be open to following you. But if your dream is to work as a doctor in England,
and this is your only option,
then you shouldn't
just do it. You
shouldn't ever put that on hold because there's a possibility of something else.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
You just have to do it. Yeah.
I agree.
I think it was a good episode.
Yeah, I had fun. Lots of relationship talk.
I hope it sounded good.
Same.
I hope the recording looks okay.
Same.
We're trying new things.
We're exploring. If it sucks, it sucks.
Exactly.
But I hope you love it.
You will.
And now we don't even have to do a rushed outro that's just a screen where it's like, our camera cut off, really sorry.
Yeah, but I feel like that's easier than having to come up with something. Oh, we
No.
we ain't prepared nothing.
Well, we can just say goodbye.
Bye.